If you're a fan of the hit show Yellowstone, you might be wondering what's next for the Dutton family and their sprawling ranch. Well, you're in luck, because the creator of Yellowstone, Taylor Sheridan, has announced a spin-off series that will explore the history and legacy of another legendary ranch in the West, the 6666 Ranch. In this video, we'll tell you everything we know so far about the upcoming series, which is simply titled 6666. The 6666 Ranch, also known as the Four Sixes Ranch, is a real place that has been operating in Texas since 1870. It was founded by Samuel Burke Burnett, who bought 100 head of cattle branded with 6666 on them from a fellow rancher in Dutton, Texas. He later expanded his ranch to include over 266,000 acres of land, making it one of the largest and most successful ranches in America. The ranch is still owned by the Burnett family today, and it is known for raising some of the finest horses and livestock in the world. The ranch has won many awards and honors for its quality and performance, such as the AQHA Best Remuda Award and the AQHA All-Time Leading Breeder of Performance Horses, Race Money Earners, and Winners. The ranch also produces top-quality Angus cattle, which are sold to commercial and purebred operations across the country. The ranch has a rich legacy of innovation and excellence in the ranching industry. The 6666 Ranch has a long and fascinating history that spans over 150 years and reflects the changes and challenges of the American West. It was once home to the Comanche tribe, who ruled the area before the arrival of settlers. The Comanche were fierce warriors and skilled horsemen who resisted the encroachment of the white man for decades. They fought against the Spanish, the Mexicans, and the Texans until the US Army finally defeated them in the 1870s. One of the most famous Comanche leaders was Quanah Parker, who was the son of a Comanche chief and a white captive named Cynthia Ann Parker. Quanah Parker led his people in many battles, but also sought peace and adaptation to the new reality. He became friends with Samuel Burke Burnett, the founder of the 6666 Ranch, who purchased 100 head of cattle wearing the 6666 brand from Frank Crowley of Denton, Texas in 1870. Quanah Parker often visited Burnett's ranch and gave him gifts of horses and buffalo robes. He also helped him negotiate with other tribes and secure grazing rights for his cattle. Burnett became one of the most influential and successful cattlemen in Texas history. He expanded his ranch to over 260,000 acres, including the Four Sixes Ranch's headquarters near Guthrie and Dixon Creek Ranch between Panhandle and Borger. He raised purebred Herefords and Durham bulls, which won national prizes at livestock shows all over the United States. He also bred purebred quarter horses, which is known as for their speed, stamina, and intelligence. He was one of the first ranchers to use windmills, barbed wire, and artificial insemination in his operations. He also introduced modern ranching techniques such as branding, vaccinating, dehorning, and castrating his cattle. The 6666 Ranch was also involved in many historical events and legends in the West. It was part of the cattle drives that moved millions of cattle from Texas to northern markets in the late 19th century. It was also affected by the oil boom that transformed Texas in the early 20th century. In 1921, oil was found on the ranch, thus turning it into a very profitable enterprise. The ranch also played a role in the Texas Revolution, the Civil War, and the Indian Wars. It supported the cause of independence from Mexico in 1836, supplied beef to the Confederate Army in 1861 to 1865, and defended itself from raids by hostile Indians in 1865 to 1875. The ranch has hosted many famous guests such as Theodore Roosevelt, Will Rogers, and Lyndon B. Johnson. Roosevelt even hunted wolves on the ranch with Burnett in 1905. He was impressed by Burnett's hospitality and his management of the ranch. He later wrote, "I have never seen a finer herd of cattle than those on Mr. Burnett's ranch, nor have I ever met a more genial host." Will Rogers was a humorist and actor who visited the ranch several times in the 1920s and 1930s. He enjoyed riding horses and cracking jokes with Burnett and his cowboys. He once said, "I don't care how poor a man is. If he has a family, he's rich." Lyndon B. Johnson was a politician and president who visited the ranch in 1964. He was friends with Anne Valiant Burnett Tandy, Burnett's granddaughter, who inherited the ranch in 1922. She invited him to see her oil wells and her horses. She also gave him a Stetson hat with a gold band that said LBJ on it. The ranch has also been featured in several books, movies, and TV shows such as Lonesome Dove, The Good Old Boys, and Yellowstone. Lonesome Dove is a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by Larry McCutcheon that tells the story of two former Texas Rangers who drove a herd of cattle from Texas to Montana in the 1870s. The novel was inspired by Burnett's cattle drives and his friendship with Quanah Parker. The novel was adapted into a TV miniseries in 1989 that starred Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones as Gus McCrae and Woodrow Cole, respectively. The miniseries was filmed partly on the 6666 Ranch and used some of its horses as extras. The Good Old Boys is a novel by Elmer Kelton that tells the story of an aging cowboy who struggles to adapt to modern times in the earliest 20th century. The novel was based on Kelton's father, who worked as a cowboy on the 6666 Ranch in the 1910s. The novel was adopted into a TV movie in 1995 that starred Tommy Lee Jones as Huey Calloway, the protagonist. The movie was also filmed partly on the 6666 Ranch and used some of its horses as extras. Yellowstone is a TV series created by Taylor Sheridan that tells the story of a ranching family that faces threats from land developers, politicians, and rival ranchers in Montana. The series features some of the iconic characters and locations from the 6666 Ranch, such as Hollywood Gold, a Foundation stallion who starred in many champions, Royal Fletch, an NCHA Open Purity winner who died at the age of 26, and Golf No. 2, Burnett, the first oil well drilled on the Dixon Creek Ranch in 1921. The series also introduced a spin-off series called 6666, which will be set on the 6666 Ranch and showcase its history and culture. So what can we expect from the 6666 spin-off series? According to a press release from Paramount Network, the show will follow the rule of law and the laws of nature as they merge in a place where the most dangerous thing one does is the next thing. The show will also showcase the world-class cowboys who were born and made at the 6666 Ranch. The show will be set in contemporary times, just like Yellowstone, but it will also explore the rich history of the ranch and its impact on the West. The show will be written and produced by Taylor Sheridan, who also owned the 6666 Ranch since May 2021. He bought it from Anne Wildoffer Marion, Burnett's great-great-granddaughter, who passed away in February 2020. The show is still in development, so we don't have a lot of details about the cast and plot yet. The release date for 6666 is still unknown, but we hope to see it sometime in 2023 on Paramount Network and Paramount+. The show will be part of Sheridan's expanding universe of Western-themed shows, which also include 1883 and 1923. These are two prequel series that will explore the origins of the Dutton family and their ranch in Montana. 1883 is already airing on Paramount+, while 1923 is expected to debut later this year. 6666 is based on the legendary Texas ranch that has been operating since. The ranch is known for its wildlife conservation efforts and its involvement in various legal disputes over water rights and land ownership. The show will likely follow the lives of the ranchers who work and live on the 6666 Ranch, as well as the challenges they face from external threats such as developers, politicians, and environmentalists. The show will also showcase the beauty and diversity of the Texas landscape, as will the culture and traditions of the ranching community. The show will be a tribute to the legacy and spirit of the American West, as well as a reflection of the contemporary issues that affect it. We're very excited to see what Sheridan has in store for us with 6666. We think it will be a fascinating and thrilling series, which will honour the legacy of one of America's most iconic ranches. We can't wait to learn more about the characters, stories, and secrets that lie within the 4-6's ranch. That's all for this video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified of whenever we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.